Hello, good day. You are welcome to I Can Make It. What a joy to come and to be sharing thoughts with you on our program today. Well, with me on this edition is Queen. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
How was your day?
So very good, and it's getting better.
Getting better. What a joy to be alive. I'm so
Yes.
happy for the gift of life that God has given to us, and it's a joy to be alive. And many times, a lot of people think out of what is the real issue they are supposed to be focusing on. You need to take one thing at a time, focus on them, and you get the best out of life. There's something I want to read down here before Queen will let us know the things we are discussing today. You are welcome to I Can Make It. I know you can. Now, there's something I wrote down here. When life knock you down, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. When life knock you down, don't lie on your stomach, lie on your back. If you can look up, you can get up. I can make it. Hello, Queen.
I really like that quote. If you can look up,
You can get up.
you can get up. And when you look up, I tell you, see other reasons why you must get up and go.
Yeah. have to
Because
get
you can make it,
sense.
and I can make it. Yes, I'm so happy to be here on I Can Make
Make
It. You know, we are on about thoughts, about life issues, real life issues. And I tell you, the fact that you're breathing, there is hope for you. Now we're going to talk about words. The words we speak. These words we speak, they matter. They matter. They carry weight. Talk is not cheap. Talk can build and it can destroy. Now, John C. Maxwell, a very popular writer, said, "A word of encouragement from a teacher to a child can change a life. A word of encouragement from a spouse can save a marriage. A word of encouragement from a leader can inspire a person to reach his or her potential. It is not what you are going through that defines you, but what you say in what you are going through." I think I should pause a while there. What you say in what you are going through matters. I don't know, words. People just wake up and say things. Just say things, forgetting that these words actually life. You know, we're talking about someone falling back, falling down to his back. Do you know what brings him up? Is that telling himself that, I can see this. The world is still living, the sun is still shining, the stars still come out at their appropriate time, the moon still shines. That means I can get back up. I can make it. But if you cannot tell yourself that, I tell you to be harder for that to happen. And again, we talked about a spouse talking to his partner, a teacher. I always say this: we should learn to say things that matter, because words matter. I've seen cases where a teacher says something to a student and that was the end of it. There was a story that was carried on the newspaper and all that, about a child that was made fun of, and the next thing, the child hung himself. Even though that was a wrong action this student took, but it came out of somewhere. And if you should check, that child must have been getting those kind of words, even maybe from home or something like that. Because, like I always say, I don't need someone to come and tell me I'm beautiful. Why? Because my father has already told me. I've been hearing it all my life. So when you come out tomorrow and say, "Queen, you're not worth it at all," I don't believe
That's
you,
your opinion.
because I have heard it time and time, and I choose to believe my father that said, "You look good." So what are we saying? Our words, they matter. They can build. I tell you, most of people that achieve something, they said to themselves, "I can make it." They said to yourself, if you have not gotten to the stage whereby you can say something to yourself, you can say something to your friend, say something to someone that needs encouragement to get the person walking, I'm telling you, you have to think about it. Because if you don't learn to be positive in your approach to others, you yourself also will lack. There'll be a deficiency in you also, because that means if you lack the right words to say to people, I must tell you, your life too is lacking a lot of things. Who you are, or what you think of, or what you think of others, usually come out in how we say things. And when we say things, that's why we say, watch what you say. I see people that will say, leave me, I talk anyhow, just say the way it is. Then that means you're any kind of person. If you just say any word just the way it is, then you should watch it. Watch it. Especially people that will call our leaders, don't come and say, because I'm in this position, I can say it however, and you can take it however. No, there's somebody that's latching onto you just to say a word that you pick up and start running. There's someone that is latching onto a word, just waiting for you to say that word, and they pick it up and they go. So you can make it, but learn to say the right words to people. Learn to say the right words to yourself. And I tell you, this sky is just a starting point.
Wow, that's so serious. And I was just looking at what we wrote down here. A word of encouragement from a teacher. When you tell a child in the class, you can make it, that child begins to see himself that he cannot fail. We must learn to use encouraging word to be able to talk to our children, talk to our spouse, because it's going to bring good results. How you wake up in the morning and look at your children and say, oh, you are looking well, you are looking good. Let us learn to speak, because the power of death and life are in the tongue. And many times I relate to this. How did I marry my wife? I did not marry my wife by showing her how much I have in my bank account. I always spoke words of, I love you, and I want us to marry, and I want us to live for as long as God will permit us. And I tell you something, that changed our father's name, and he answered my name. Today, we've been together for over 26 years. 26 years. Why? Because I speak the right word. Now, let me tell you, if you speak the right word, right things will come into your life. If you speak the right word, right things will start happening to you. It's not what happened to you that matters. It's how you respond to the things that happen to you that matters. He also said here that a word of encouragement, yes, from a teacher to a child, can change the life. Now, I believe somebody might be there, you are a teacher, you are listening to me, or you are a father. Why not speak good word, just like what Queen was saying, that the dad used to tell her, you are beautiful. Why not talk to your daughter, oh, you are beautiful, you are wonderful, you are wonderfully made. You are just too much, you are trying. Let's learn to speak word of encouragement, whether to our husband, to our wife. Is very important for us to learn to speak word of encouragement so that we can get the best. A word of encouragement from a spouse can save a marriage. It doesn't matter what is happening. When something happens in the house and along the line, you know that what you have said or what you have done offended the partner, drop everything and go to meet your partner. Oh, I'm sorry, it was not intentional. By the time you speak those right words, you find out that you are creating an atmosphere. Let me also tell you, words create atmosphere. Words change atmosphere. Word deliver to us our expectation. Let me give you an example. You come into your house, and no matter how you look like, and you say, oh, darling, I love you. Oh, kids, you are wonderful. I bought this for you. You find out that everyone is excited. But if you come to the house, you are moody, you just look for your front, and your face is squeezed like lamb and juice, what happened? You are just going to present a sour situation. Let us bring joy. Let us bring peace to our home. At the same time, let us use good words to encourage our partner. Encourage your husband. Oh, don't worry, darling. We might not be there now, but I know we can make it. Don't worry, my honey. We might not be there now. I know you can make it. And make it. Let me tell you, when you are not around, your spouse, those words re-echo. So also it is when you speak bad language to your husband. Oh, so you call yourself a man. That kind of thing will discourage. I've heard a lot of stories where some men will hang themselves and some women will also hang themselves. We don't need to go through that direction. It doesn't matter what is happening around you. You can make it. He said here that even as leaders, let us learn to speak word of encouragement. Don't be a leader that see, instead of you to see the cup is half full, you are seeing the cup half empty. Let us learn to use positive words. There's a book I wrote some years ago. I said, living positive in a negative world. Let's learn to use positive words to build our spouse, build our children, build those around us, and you find out that you always get the best. I'm saying to you today, you can make it. It doesn't matter where you are right now. See, let me tell you, that your back is on the ground does not mean that you can't get up. All you need is to look up and get up.
Yes, you're just saying what's coming to mind is let's be ambassadors of joy.
Wow.
Let's spread joy around. I mean, if you can spread joy around, I'll tell you that you will live with joy also. This we go on to say that if God cannot change your word, the words you speak with your mouth, He cannot change your life.
Yeah.
That's a very strong word. What you are going through is temporal, but what you say in what you are going through is permanent.
Wow.
Be wise with words. Be mindful of your words. No matter what any prophet says about you, you always have the final say. I think I have to repeat that. No matter what any prophet says about you, you always have the final say.
And why do you have to repeat that? Because a lot of people just jump at, oh, prophets, these prophets, and some of them as if they are God when they speak.
I respect prophets a lot because I know they are very important. That's an office. That's a leadership position. But I tell you, if a prophet comes to me and say you are going to die, check yourself. Is that you're living a wayward life, or you're not eating right, but there's something you're doing? You go back and check yourself. But the truth is this. Let me use an example of a king called Hezekiah in the Bible. A prophet came to him, and the truth of the matter is that this prophet was sent by God. Remember at the beginning we said, if God cannot change your word, He cannot change your life at all. The prophet came and said, God said you are going to die so time. Prepare your house.
Put your house in order.
Put your house in order. Arrange your accounts. Tell your children what you need to tell them. Your assets. Just arrange yourself, because you are going. God has said it. I know they say, what God has said. But this man said, no, I'm not ready to go. And besides, God, I serve you. I'm faithful. I serve you. So I don't deserve it. And the man faced the one and said, God, remember, I don't want to go now. And before the prophet left that place, God sent him back. God, just tell me he cannot die now. Why? Because he has a reason to live.
Yeah.
He has a purpose. You can easily fade away when you live a purposeless life, when you're just wandering. But seriously, if you refuse to change the words that come out, because these words are from inside, you're already killing yourself already from inside. God will come from heaven and change things for you. Remember, God even moves by what we say. When you don't say anything to put anything into action, God cannot even move on your behalf. So just know that what they said about you can only come to pass when you agree. And in fact, when you agree intentionally, you start walking towards that path to destruction. So you tell yourself, no, I have a purpose. I want to do this, and I will do this. Through God's grace also, you will get there. And we also said that what you're going through is not permanent, but what you say. Why do we say that? What you're going through changes, just like the weather changes. So the truth is that what you are seeing now has the potential to change. The issue is, what did you say about it? Most of us like to, when we are passing through things, we are like down. I want the whole world to know that we're down, and we keep saying it, repeating it. I don't see you going anywhere. You keep repeating those things. Why don't you look for something better to say? Smile, just smile, say something nice. This is not the worst I can be. I have a better future. I will walk to that future and I will get out of it. I'm in a mess now, but this mess is going to turn into a message. Why? Because I know that I'll be above. I know I am making it. I know I will make it. I know I can make it. Why? Because I have the potential. I have the God-given potential to make it. So let's tell ourselves, it's not hard to be a wise man. It's not hard. According to the Bible, it said, if people are talking, I don't know what to say, just keep quiet. And people will think that you are wise. So it is not really hard
So you're
though.
actually behaving well.
Because you, yes, so just if you don't know what's at a point or you're going through something, instead of it to increase this thing by going through it, my brother, my sister, just keep quiet and be telling yourself, God help me, I can make it.
Oh yeah. You know, as we were talking, something came to my mind. He said, if thou thought evil in your heart, lay your hand upon your mouth. Why? Because you are self-fulfilling prophecy. Until you say it, it's not established. Actually, saying it means I concur to it.
Exactly.
I agree to it. That is why when somebody is praying and you say amen, it simply means so shall it be. My consent, I agree. If you don't agree, don't say amen, you are not part of it. So the truth of it is what we have just said. God, if God cannot change your world, God cannot change your life. When God wants to change a man, he does not give him money. When God wants to change a man, he does not give him a car. You know what God gives to him? New word. He will give you new word. Many years ago, that's what led to what we are doing today.
Okay.
New word. God told, if I am going to change my situation, I need to change my word. And that is it. That is why you see, when I'm talking, I play with word because it's all that is just the power. And now let me tell you, what brings the universe into existence is spoken word. The earth is sustained today by spoken word. Your relationship is sustained by spoken word. Your job is sustained by spoken word. Your life is sustained by spoken word. It doesn't matter what is happening. Speak good word to your family. Speak health. Speak life. Speak what you expect. You see, life is like a farm. I've often said this. Use your word to sow what you want. Whatever you say, it will come to pass. No wonder it said you will have what you say. Don't say what you have, say what you are expecting. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. I will tell you this story before we read the other part. There was two young men. These two young men were trying to know how the future will look like. So they now went to meet a soothsayer, and when the soothsayer saw them, check their palm and said, oh, your life is going to be very difficult. You are going to go through this, go through this, go through it. He told the other man. He told the guy looked at them and said, that guy was now crying, and the guy now said, look at what this man told me. The other of his friends, was two friends, mind you, the other of his friends went, and the man said, you are going to have it easy in life. Things are just going to work for you. As you do these things, will just work, because talking about that prophecy. So they gave them that word and they left. But the guy that said things is going to be hard, that when that man told that things are going to be hard for, the guy now get himself and start to walk and focus on his life. Was just walking that he want to make sure things will not work against him. He want to make sure he make life, and he want to succeed. He want to make it in life. So everything he find in hand to do, he was committed to it, was doing it diligently. The other guy, we just went home and lied down and said, well, it's just going to be easy, no problem, and what this or that. No matter the prophecy, a word that is spoken over your life, if you are not ready to work it out, it's just going to stay there. I want to let you know this secret. You see, when God gives us, everything God gives to us, he gives it to us in raw material. And that thing, whether it's going to be refined, is in your hand. So you are the one that refine your product. But that you are alive, you are just the raw material. That is why if a woman deliver two identical twins, one of them refused to go to school, that's a raw material. The other one now went to school, improved himself. You find out that even when the one that went to school died, the other twins cannot use the certificate. They are identical. You don't need, if you wear the cloth, the same thing. But the other person cannot what? Cannot use the certificate. It cannot use the whatever the other one have left. The reason is that if you have not experienced it, you will not be able to explain it. You need to know exactly that we are all raw material. For example, look at this new year. It is given to us raw. What we do to it, I mean, at the end of the year called December, whether we are going to celebrate or we are going to complain, it is what we do every day now. It's delivered to us now. We started eating this new year by minute, by hour, and by the day. So we are eating it. And how you eat it? Are you sowing it? Are you refining yourself? Are you improving on the you? I mean, are you focusing on you, how to improve and bring out a better you? Are you doing those things? Now, if you are not doing those things, we are telling you today, you can make it. Begin to improve, and plan and expect the best, even in this year that we are in. You need to speak good word to your family, like we have said, encouraging word from a teacher. I want to talk to us, those of us that are teachers. Please encourage the children that have come to school. Let them find excitement coming back. Help them to be better. That those children you are looking at today, you might just walk into hospital one day, it's one of your class or one of your teacher, one of your students that is a doctor that is going to give you that injection that will help your life. You don't even know there are some things that are going on, and when that teacher, when that young man sees you not many years from now, he'll be able to bless you, even give you a house, even give you a car, even be a blessing to your life. Let us be a better person, like what we were yesterday. Be a better you today. You can make it. You can help somebody else to succeed. Be an encourager, don't be a destroyer.
All right. Just like I would like to say, don't exercise your freedom of speech. Instead, think. Exercise more your freedom of thinking. Right. It helps us to move to the next direction and to the best way. Now, your value. I'm going to another. I'm going higher because we are getting better. Yeah. We know we can make it.
You can make it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. I mean, just because you don't see my value doesn't mean I'm not valuable. I have often said that when you learn how much you are worth, you will stop giving people discounts. Tim Fargo, he's a very well-known writer also and a speaker. He said, if you want to improve your self-worth, stop giving other people the calculator. Stop giving her the calculator. That is a wonderful word. We must believe totally that we carry within us a special form of currency that cannot be devalued. That cannot be devalued. I mean, imagine having a kind of currency that the value does not just go down, doesn't depreciate. So what are we saying is that just because Mr. A tells Mr. B that look at you, you amount to nothing, does not mean that he is right. That is his opinion. But the issue is, what is your opinion? What do you think about yourself? It is easy for you to even devalue yourself. Even when people are praising you, but you don't see the worth in you, I tell you, you can't go anywhere. You won't be able to make it at all. So valuing yourself increases with what you believe you can achieve, with what you believe you are made of. I will always say that, know that there is a purpose for your life. Look for that purpose that sets you on the right course. A man that has focus doesn't turn left or right. Even when you cheer him, he just uses it as blocks and move on. And even when you throw stones at him and try to bring that, he just knows that if I get to that end, this won't be able to get to me. So what is your value? How do you value yourself? Did you place your value on what your neighbor says or on what you say about yourself? And you know, the truth is that we can devalue ourselves by ourselves. If you don't use your time well, you are devaluing yourself totally. If you don't learn skills, if you don't learn new things, because life is all about learning. Life is about unlearning the wrong things you learned, and life is about relearning those ones that you think you know. You will learn them again to get better. That is how you build your value. Simply how you build your value. And you know, we talk about saying to yourself, I can make it. When you then add that word, it's like a cement. I tell you, nobody can bring you down, and you will see yourself making it. Despite the rejection, like we talked about, despite every negative thing around you, despite how people see you. I've seen people that rose up from nothing, and I always wonder, God, what kind of strength do they have? That's just the strength of value. Placing value, knowing that you're like a currency that cannot be devalued. You're a currency that has worth, that cannot go down with the economy. It doesn't go down with the weather. Whether it's raining or there's so much sun, it doesn't go down. I don't know what you see about this value thing. I think that's one of the major issues that we have. As I think each of us usually come to a point where we meet these issues once in a while. But how do we, how we get out of it is what we need now to know that will help us to the next level.
Well, the way I would want to look at it, if you're watching this program, is simply value yourself. If you don't know what you have, you will not even know when you give it out. It's very important for you to know yourself. Know yourself. For example, if I bring a $100 here, I squeeze it with my hand, it still remains $100. Throw it on the floor, it still remains $100. Throw it inside the river, it still remains $100. So you are not who you are by the things or the place where you are. You are who you are by the value that you carry. So it is your courage. So if you know you carry yourself. If you value yourself, you will not be engaging in negative things that will now bring you down. For example, there are so many things you will not engage yourself in. So if you value yourself, you will present yourself better. He said, don't give others your calculator. Don't allow somebody to tell you this is what you want. No, you want more than what anybody tells you. So you need to create value for yourself, know yourself, and carry yourself in that direction. And I tell you something, you will succeed in life. Don't just give up. Always push, strive to be better. Strive to be better than what you were yesterday. Be an improved edition of you. Be an improved edition. You know, I've always made it a point in my life that I will not remain the way I was yesterday. You just keep on improving yourself. Anybody that listened to you yesterday, listen to you today, there will be something new. Now just be the new you. It's a new year, be a new you. And not just a new you, a better you. Bring value. And one of the ways to bring value, if you have a work you are working, is that serve your customer with quality service. Don't just do something anyhow. Do things like somebody that is going somewhere. You don't have all the time in this life. This is a time of your life. Value your time, value what you do, value people around you, appreciate those things that God has given to you, has blessed you with. You will see yourself increasing day by day. Let's just read the remaining part so that we can call it a day today on this edition.
Okay, in order to maintain a healthy self-image, there are three things that must be vehemently resisted in life. Number one, don't ever look down on yourself. Number two, don't ever allow anyone to look down on you. And number three, don't ever look down on anyone. Nobody, I repeat, nobody can make you inferior without your own consent. And internal security will always produce an outward stability. That takes me back to Tim Fargo. He also said something that I wrote. He said, people tell you that you cannot because they do not. Because they failed, they think you too, you will fail. So they'll tell you you can't. See you, who do you think you are? This thing that I've done before, I've tried this now. Is it not? I beg, forget it. It's because they failed there and they think you cannot. But tell them that you can't, because you are cut out of a different material. You have purpose, you have focus, you have direction. You know you can make it.
Wow, what a joy to be alive. And I want to tell you, just like what the three point that Queen has read, don't look down on yourself. That's one. Don't look down on anyone. Nobody. Don't look down on anyone.
And don't let anybody
look down on you. Now, don't be run by people's opinion. Whatever people say about you is not who you are. Always ask yourself, is that correct? If it's not correct, then move on. If what they are saying is wrong, move on. If what they are saying is right, correct yourself.
Exactly.
So you can make it. I want to say thank you for always tuning into I Can Make It today. What a joy to be alive. Don't forget this, a journey of 1,000 miles, you will start with one step. Start today, you can make it. Until see you again in our next edition, this is Simon and Samantha and Queen say, you can make it. Bye-bye and God bless you.